there, that can be considered your historical use. Then you become a stakeholder. And as a stakeholder, see, once they declare the national monument, what will happen is it takes 3 years. They have up to 3 years to create what is called the Monument Management Plan. And in that Monument Management Plan will be set forth, and how they write that plan will determine what the management of the national monument will be. As a stakeholder, you'll have input. If you're not a stakeholder, you don't get any input. And so by having a historical use, you become a stakeholder, which will then allow you to be able to have input on the management plan. The management plan, once it's written, the downfall to that is whoever comes and be the manager of the national monument later can interpret that plan how they individually desire. But that's the national government, and that's how they work. And so the best we can do is just try and have as much influence as we can in that.
Is there language in the monument?
The basin and range?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That allows you to create.
We can develop those water
Develop
resources.
them?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, what we didn't get done, and part of our downfall in that is we didn't acquire any land out there. Through the 2004 Lincoln County Land Act and through the LICRTA Act, there's 90,000 acres that could be disposed in Lincoln County. We tried to get that into the RMP to be able to release 3,000 to 5,000 acres so that we can go out there and put agricultural pivots and do some agriculture and develop the water resource and create some agriculture out there. We were unable to get that land acquired from the BLM, and so the problem is now we cannot acquire that land because it's now a national monument.
So how does that impact your ability to develop your water resources?
We can still develop our water resources through the right-of-ways, and we can transfer that water out. So if we were to create a pipeline and the water was needed at Coyote Springs, and that was the original design, we can still put those right-of-ways in place, and we can still put that pipeline in place according to the BLM now. Now, that could change 10 years from now or 20 years from now or whenever it is. But at this point in time, we have a seat at the table. We're a stakeholder. And so we have a say in how that management plan will be written. Anyway, if that helps your decision at all.
That helps me a
Well,
lot.
maybe we should have you speak first.
Yeah.
5 minutes for the meeting.
We'll limit a lot of the comments. So. Is it open to public?
Would anyone like to?
Yeah, I retired from Interior. I want to reinforce what he said. He's absolutely right. As long as you stay at the table on these things and show that you know you have an interest in this stuff, you can negotiate that stuff. Thank you, Wade, for bringing all that up. Let's try to set that issue, to rest. And the other thing, I know you talked about the quantity of water, but will your study also include the quality of that water?
Yes.
Okay. The other, just one final thing. Is Seep Springs in 223? It's not?
It's in 222.
Okay, thank you.
Are any of these springs in 223?
No.
I think everything's in 222.
Yeah.
Every water right we have is in 222, right?
All right.
If nobody else has comments, I'm ready to make a motion. I make a motion that we approve. Let me get back on my screen. I need to reset the timer. I move that we approve the Franson contract for this year in amount not to exceed $60,000 to develop and monitor our water rights in the Virgin Mountains.
Hold on.
Have you had any contact with Senator Reed's office about the language that is not in his legislation to make that a NCA? Because there is no provision in his legislation to allow for development of water resources, nothing.
Yeah, if you
And so-
recall, back in March, I believe it was, the board directed me to send a letter to all of our congressional representatives expressing our concerns with that specific language issues. I sent the letter to them, I think it was April Fool's Day, actually, the letter was dated. So, but I've not heard back from any of our congressional staff members, or congressional representatives on that letter concern, so I will follow up with it.
Please, at least with Senator Reed's office. Thank you.
I have a question on the motion. Read a comment and then, oh, okay, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was only going to second the
Oh,
motion,
okay.
so go
That's
ahead.
probably what should happen before we have the questions.
If you like.
If you second, then we can discuss it, right? And that's the way it should go. So, yeah,
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a first and second. My question on the motion was the amount that you stated was not to exceed 60,000, is that including
Yes.
construction?
Yes.
That's not just the friends.
I think I included in there construction and,
Yeah, construction.
and monitoring.
24,000 engineering roughly.
I think that was in my motion. If not, I so amended it, but I believe it was.
It's just the amount was 34 in here, and I knew that's
It
what
was
you were
34 and
intending.
24, but I did say construction and monitoring, so I believe.
I think you did the first.
Well, this agenda item only says 34,000. It doesn't include anything
No, it
about the
doesn't.
25,000, does it? Where?
Number 4.
Oh, it's in the back, it's in the back of.
Yeah, but the agenda item says 34. I know what the backup says.
Yeah.
We can come back on the construction part of that, so.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that we need to be concerned about, though?
Yeah, you can only take action as to what is noticed in the agenda.
That's right, so we can only vote on the 34, we cannot vote on the 25.
That's correct.
I'll amend my motion that we approve a contract with Hanson for the monitoring of our Virgin Mountain water in an amount not to exceed 34,000.
Okay, I have a motion.
Now I'll second it.
Okay, we have a first and second, all in favor?
Only because of what Wade told me.
Motion carries. And then, Mary, if you could, on the next agenda, get some construction on there, so we can get that.
Hey, I'm Colin Whitwer.